Hello guys, it's your boy Jibba Sage here and welcome to Mount Weaboku. This is my first anime review ever and I'm going to be reviewing the new Netflix original Be the Beginning. So the story is a pretty generic serial killer catching story. There is this serial killer who kills psychopath murderers and clueless cops try to find him. At least we're led to believe that this is another detective story, but it turns out to be a complete mindfuck when we see dark angels that grow fucking swords from their hands and plot twists dropping left and right. So first, let's talk about the characters. First, there's Cuckoo, who at first just seems like this clueless boy in the first few seconds of the anime. Then in the next 30 seconds, we learn that he's a goddamn dark angel that can grow a big fat sword from his hand and has this weird Sharingan type eyeball that can erase memory. Basically the baby of a dark angel and Sasuke Uchiha. There's Lily, who's a pretty average character. She is stated to be a smart detective, even though she never really shows it, cause she doesn't really do much. She's kinda just the main detective's little sidekick. The only thing really cool about her is that the only time something funny happens in the anime, she's involved. There's my personal favorite, Keith Flick. He's pretty much the main genius detective of the series and the most useful character. I mean, the guy writes freaking every equation known to man on his walls just to solve a crime. That's crazy. Now, I really like this character because he reminds me of a mix of Ichigo and Sherlock Holmes. Then there's Yuna, who is Koku's soulmate, but in reality, she's pretty useless. For half of this series, all she does is get beat up and cry for Koku. There's also a genius doctor psychopath murderer, a brilliant hacker that engages in hacker battles. There's also an Akatsuki type group who can grow swords from their hands and legs. So there's a nice mashup of every type of character personality ever made. But that's pretty much it for the characters. So now let's talk about the action. Besides the fact that the fights consist of Koku growing a sword from his hands, and smashing weird semi-demons who can also grow swords from their hands, the battles aren't anything special. Battles last about 30 seconds with Koku spamming sword slash and then glaring at his opponents with his wicked eyeball. Besides the plot and battles and pretty much everything, the anime in general gave me this Hunter x Hunter vibe from the York New City arc. It was very dark and mysterious and it had a lot of gore. Now let's get into the plot. Now the plot starts off pretty generically and then it becomes the story of genetically modified angels who fight each other because of an inscription. And then there's this genius psychopath who orchestrates everything in the anime, kind of like Black Zetsu. The plot was a little hard to figure out. It's not until the very end when the villain reveals his motives that you understand what was truly happening in the story. But overall, the mystery of the story really keeps you on edge, and it's fairly original. Now for my final thoughts. This is a very decent anime. Although you don't really get attached to the characters because of the small number of episodes, the characters are very fleshed out, and the plot is very unpredictable. The battles are alright though, but who doesn't want to see a dark angel with a glowing eyeball who grows freaking swords from his hands? I think I would give this anime a solid 7.5 out of 10. Not bad. So that's gonna be all for the video here, guys. Guys, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm just a sage weeaboo that wants to spread the anime love. And if you want to commune about any other anime, just comment down below. This was Jabba the Sage, and now it's time for me to Yoda fade out.